Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and as you could probably tell by the title, this is going to be my F1 2018 offline review. Now, for those of you out there that are looking forward to the F1 2018 game, you will know that the game is actually dropping tomorrow morning, so before you go out and spend your hard-earned pennies on the brand new F1 2018 game, I thought I'd sort of just talk about my opinions on this game and whether you should buy it. Now, some of you might be thinking, what does an offline review mean? Now, simply put, obviously, this is just going to be talking about the offline features of this game, not online. Now, there are a couple of good reasons for that. Obviously, for those of you that sort of have followed the F1 franchise, have followed league racing, esports, and that sort of thing for a while now, you'll know that F1 online in the past has unfortunately been a little bit iffy on the whole. Now, I will openly admit I was given a copy by Codemasters, but, you know, this is not a paid review or anything like that. It is completely open, my thoughts and feelings about the brand new F1 2018 game. So as I said, you know, no online talks in this video. That will come at a later date after I've done a few races online to see if there are any bugs and that sort of thing overall. So if you're an online user, click off this video now if you don't care about sort of career mode and everything like that. Just, you know, there's no relevance here for you. Now, for career mode users though, obviously you guys will know how much Codemasters have really been trying to push obviously career mode and that sort of thing over these last couple of years. Now, career mode is by far and away the most used sort of item in F1 2018. It's the most used mode, even, is probably the better way of putting it. It's one of very few games that I can really think of nowadays where the offline is so much more popular than online. You know, generally thinking in sort of like FPS games and everything like that, everyone is all about the online, you know, side of things. But F1 has always been a little bit different. Now, for those of you that sort of like F1 2017, F1 2018 is a good step up. You know, you've got things like interviews that have obviously made the return back to the game, a more sophisticated career mode. And it's just, honestly, the best way to describe it is probably a more immersive, better, well-rounded and smoothened out career mode on the whole. Now, in terms of, like, for those of you that have been keeping up with this channel over recent weeks, obviously you guys will have known that I've been doing a Williams Road to Glory career mode. Now, unfortunately in the past, Road to Glory has been a little bit odd on the F1 games. F1 2016, you could bring any team to the front in 2 seasons. Obviously that was the first game where they really sort of tried to focus on the R&D upgrades of career mode. And F1 2017 was sort of a bit of the opposite, where it was really hard to try and get a team right up to where you wanted. So F1 2018 on the whole, I've found, has been a good mix of the two. You know, it's been nice enough so far during season 1 of my Williams career mode that I've been able to, you know, make progress and make strong progress on the whole, obviously, for those guys that have been watching that. But it also hasn't been a point where now I find myself almost fighting for race wins every Grand Prix, you know, in half a season. So it certainly has been, I would say, probably the most well-balanced career mode on the whole in terms of that sort of thing. As I said, obviously you've got new things such as driver interviews as well. Sometimes they can be a little bit weird. I remember in one of them, you know, the game was telling me about how the penalty towards the end of the race cost me a chance of a podium, even though I had no penalty and was about a lap down, so there was certainly no chance of me scoring a podium in that Grand Prix. So little things like that do need to be ironed out, I certainly do feel, for the game's release, but those are very much obviously just little issues with the game. Now, one of sort of the only real big issues I'd say at the moment for me with career mode, and I know this isn't just an issue for me, I know Jimmy Broadbent has spoke about this as well as I think Tim at Mardic, Tom97HD and Arab have also mentioned it here and there on Twitter. The AI and the practice programs are a little bit weird. Unfortunately, the AI in practice are OP, which means that completing challenges and things is nigh on impossible. You know, you could do the track acclimatization and that, but other things like qualifying pace is near impossible, unfortunately, and that means moving into Grand Prix, you know, you'll find yourself down in P19, but then you'll have like the pace to be P14, P13 in the Grand Prix overall there, which is a little bit frustrating. Hopefully, you know, that can be fixed on the whole. It does take a little bit away from the immersion, knowing that the car's going quicker in free practice than they'll end up being able to do so in the race, even though things like, obviously, you'll wear the tracking and things like that, it will be much more prepared going into a Grand Prix overall. So that is probably one of the big things I'd say that probably does need to be sorted. Now, in terms, going back to sort of the development side of things, in terms of like a Road to Glory, for example, the R&D tree on this game is the most sophisticated we've ever seen from Codemasters. Now, for those of you that obviously know, each car now actually has, each team has its own R&D development tree. It's not the same for every team, you know, everyone will have to focus on different things. So obviously for me, I'm in Williams, which means I really need to start to focus on the chassis and the aerodynamics. Someone say in Red Bull may really need to focus on the engine instead. So obviously that is a really sort of good little dynamic thing in this game, is it's not just one size fits all. Every team will be different, every career mode will be very different as well, which is obviously really good to see. In terms of longevity though, you know, I know a lot of people just will play one season of career mode and be done with it. F1 2018 obviously has a very dynamic new system as well for rule changes moving into seasons, so it will mean that it remains much fresher throughout the entirety of your career mode. You know, you'll invest heavily, like I've done in the first season of my Williams Road to Glory, in like the chassis and the aerodynamics, and then you'll have a complete rule change, and you'll find that a lot of that work needs to be undone, which is a little bit unfortunate, obviously, in my case, but it does really help the game on the whole. You know, it really does add that extra element, add that extra longevity to it, and I really do think this could be the first F1 game where I am really still playing career mode right towards the end of the game, which is obviously really, you know, that's probably one of the most important things for Codemasters on this game. You know, they want people to be continuing on right the way through to the end of, obviously, until summer of 2019, where obviously we'll hopefully get the release of F1 2019. Now, all the tracks, obviously, everything like you expect, all work absolutely fantastic, you know, all wonderfully recreated in the Formula 1 game. All the tracks, all the cars, all the drivers, everything like that, obviously, is absolutely fantastic. I'm running on an original Xbox One, you know, one of the OG Day 1 edition ones, and I've really had no sort of graphical issues. I've had a couple of very minor things, well, like a texture won't have been quite properly rendered as you would expect, but, you know, those were only very small issues that really do not affect your sort of the player experience too much on the whole. You know, it's not something I'd really say you need to worry about on the F1 2018 game. But overall then, you know, there's a lot of extra features on the side. You know, you've got things like Grand Prix mode to just do like one race that you want. You've obviously got the introduction once again, like in 2017, of, you know, you'll have classic challenges on the side. I have really sort of avoided them on F1 2018, mainly because I'm planning to do a separate series with the classic cars further on down the line. But yeah, that is something, you know, there is plenty to do on F1 2018. You know, so much, you know, there's a lot of creativity out there. You know, if you're a content creator like me, there's a lot of different things that you can be doing with F1 2018. Plenty of opportunities, you know, to really sort of shape your own way in career mode. This game is called Make Headlines, obviously, as course there, and you certainly can make your own headlines in F1 2018. So overall then, from me, on the whole, you know, I'd personally say F1 2018 offline. If you've got F1 2017 and you really sort of, you know, if you want the immersive experience once more, you want to continue on, I would say F1 2018 is really worth your money on the whole. It does offer a fantastic career mode experience. I would argue, well, honestly, I wouldn't, there's no real sort of argument about it. It is the best that I think we've ever had in a Codemasters F1 game. You know, with the dynamic rule changes going into seasons, the way the upgrades work, how balanced they are, just the overall track experience, obviously interviews and everything like that. It is, yeah, in my opinion, the most well-rounded and best F1 game that we've seen so far in terms of offline, which is obviously, for most people, the most important thing. But as I said, I will be releasing a video talking about the online after I've had a little bit of time to play with it online as well. Obviously, I'm not just going to say, you know, hopefully it works on this game, where, you know, it's just not part of a review that I can't really judge it on just yet. But as I said, hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're picking up F1 2018 tomorrow as well. I know I cannot thank you guys enough for the phenomenal support we've had so far on the channel since F1 2018. Pretty much, Media Day was just under a month ago now, where I uploaded the Brawn video, which is obviously the first video I made of F1 2018. Since then, we've gained nearly, well, at the time of recording this, nearly 5,000 subscribers. You know, we've nearly tripled in terms of subscriber count here, which, you know, has really been absolutely phenomenal on the whole. You know, we're getting closer and closer, slowly but surely, to 10k as well. So obviously, if you aren't already, please do hit that subscribe button as well if you want to see more content on the channel. Although I'm going to be quite quiet over the weekend on this channel as well, where I'm actually at the real life Belgian Grand Prix, you know, still do leave your questions down below about the F1 2018 game. I will try to, you know, put a couple of hours in this evening, you know, when I'm back in my hotel after the first day here at, well, in Germany actually, I'm staying for the Grand Prix. I will try to answer your questions. I do read every single comment on the channel, you know. Any questions that I do get, I will really try to answer. from this review video, you know, so you guys get the sort of like the answers that you want, because obviously I'm bound to have missed out on a couple of things in this review. But yeah, from me, in the end, F1 2018 is certainly a game that is absolutely worth it for you offline players. You know, Career Mode is fantastic and really is worth your money once more. Such a refined experience on the whole. But as I said, thank you all so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.